I thought the Hunger Games was a Paula Deen sex tape. Are you sure?
Well, we sure have a lot to look forward to in the future now, don't we? In 10 years we'll be eating people, in 110 years we'll discover life in outer space, and in 10,000 years we'll have glowy blue eyes, a crippling spice addiction, and this. You could say the future's pretty damn bleak, but you could also say the future's so bright you gotta wear shades, and anyone younger than me won't get that anyway, so moving on. Dystopia is a classic theme for sci-fi and fantasy because nobody wants to see little Timmy pick flowers and have children and win most Poncy Pons in the universe contest when they can see cyborg mutant Timmy who lives in a radioactive wasteland, eats the living, and also might be rabid. Thus we come to the Hunger Games. Now in this future, civilization has collapsed and North America is now just 12 geographic districts and the capital. Every year, one boy and girl from each district is chosen to submit to the Hunger Games to enforce the capital's oppressive control over the entire continent. When 16-year-old Katniss's little sister is chosen, she volunteers to take her place and now must fight to the death amongst 23 other kids. Katniss is from District 12, old Appalachia mining land where you're lucky to have an old sock and a potato, and many of the other candidates have been training their whole lives with knives and axes and probably lots of potatoes and other foods that are not potatoes, so you see the problem. The 24 players are dropped into the wilderness with meager weapons and rations and are videotaped in their bloody pursuit of victory while the entire country watches. The last man standing wins the game and probably many, many years of therapy and just going completely apeshit on camping trips. And if this sounds vaguely familiar, you would be correct. Stephen King did something similar in The Running Man, where the poor and destitute volunteer to play violent games for the promise of a better life, which I would watch if it starred the Kardashians or Jersey Shore. But let us not overlook the cult Japanese movie Battle Royale, in which a class of 9th graders are abandoned on an island to brutally murder each other. However, though the idea of brutality for entertainment isn't new, it's still pretty fun. Most video games are violent, a lot of music is violent, you lose an eye on a bad round of Sudoku. Anyone who grew up with lawn darts understands the parallel between pleasure and pain, and if all you've done is play Tetris, well, that's still pretty intense. The Hunger Games is pretty entertaining, based in no small part on the lineup of great actors that seem tailor-made for the parts they're playing. You'll hardly notice the differences from the book, and once the action ramps up, you get drawn in, and you find yourself wondering if you could kill to survive.
Last donut.